Those.
The casinos, everything is tied to North Jersey casinos.
Mhm.
And we already had an overwhelming referendum where the voters, about 86%, rejected casinos in the North. So you question, why would someone from Elizabeth, New Jersey be interested in saying we need a better government for Atlantic City? So if the yes prevails, all 10 elected officials, the 9 council people and myself, are immediately gone.
Mm.
And
So who would run Atlantic City? How was Atlantic
White
City
people.
run?
yes, it's definitely racist, and people that know me know that I speak my mind. This couldn't happen in any other town. Like I said, the state of New Jersey and the money that goes out of the city of Atlantic City to the tune of $154.5 million that the residents of Atlantic City don't see. So all of those amenities and things that you get. So Charlemagne, you come to Atlantic City tomorrow, right? And you stay to Monday. You stay at, pick a casino, Hard Rock.
Mhm.
You park your car, that's parking tax.
Mhm.
You check into the room, that's hotel tax. You say I'm going to a concert that night or buy a drink, that's the luxury tax.
Mhm.
After the game, after the concert, you say, look, it's a West Coast basketball game on. That's sports betting. When you do that 3 days in a row, the city of Atlantic City doesn't get a penny.
Where does that money go
What?
to?
The money goes to the state of New Jersey, and they wonder why.
Wow.
Because our casino industry in 2014, 5 casinos closed, and over 10,000 people lost jobs. And as they say, so goes Atlantic City, so goes the region, so goes the state.
Local 54.
Greetings and salutations. Thank you for the honor of your ear and the privilege of your presence. We'd like to thank you once again for tuning in to
To a way out. To the way out, family. It's a beautiful sound. We're here today to back the mayor, Mr. Marty Smalls, about the Union 54 trying to take over the city, do away with the mayor and all the levels of government so they can take over the whole thing and run the city the way they want to without our votes, without our desires, without our ideas, without our feelings. Just back to slavery again. That's what they want. So we asking all the people in Atlantic City, we asking those in the underworld, overworld, beyond the world, boys and girls, to get behind the mayor and let us get this big no on the paper to these people. Tell them, no, we're not going for that. We go for everything else. We let all the foreigners come in, get all the businesses on every corner, talk to our women any kind of way, fill in our little girls in their store and lock the door, take the credit cards and take more money off of the credit card than they supposed to. We let them do all that. When are we going to stand up for a change and have some kind of courage? Well, I'm telling you right now, this is the time to get behind the mayor, Mr. Marty Smalls, and push and make sure they don't take over our city so we can get it back on track through his leadership, hopefully. We can get back on track and start making the city and the citizens what we're supposed to be, the pursuit of happiness.
Yes, sir. It sounds like a classic case.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Freaky. Be a thing from
and that's tyranny. And if you go back to the start of this country, that's why they came over here to rid themselves of such the same type problem. So people say you got to be able to vote in your representatives who will take care of their particular constituency.
Yes.
You see, and now we don't have if this goes into play, then we're not represented. So again, taxation without representation is tyranny. And definitely we're not about to try to do that again in our fair city. So, we're trying to present a way out.
It's already a crying shame the way the state took over anyway, and then the state won't cut us loose. They said that they have 2 to 3 more years, maybe 4, to keep a chokehold on the city. Now here come these nuts, a can of mixed nuts, whoever they are, billionaire boys, and here they come and talking about we're gonna do away with the mayor, the councilmen, the councilwomen, and everything, and we're gonna run this the way we want to run it. And they don't even live here, don't know nothing about it, don't know nothing about you or I, don't know nothing about our struggles with our parents, our mothers, our grandfathers, our cousins, our aunts, and our uncles went through in this city to get where we at. And then here we are still fighting each other, bickering, backbiting, he said, she said, while they taking the whole city, stealing it and running away with it.
So it's definitely a no vote, come June.
Exactly.
And people need to be appraised of it in the future. And starting today, what we're going to do is appraise people of, exactly where it stands and who benefits by this. See, because we always have to follow the hidden hand.
That's right. That's
why
right.
now? As the mayor enunciated on the breakfast program, that big money interests, have a bigger idea or hidden motive, objective, and agenda to always be able to come into our communities, suck the life force out of it, which is the money, right? We make money, but our dollars make no sense because we spend them in all particular or unparticular and unscrupulous places, and they stay in our community, as one brother had said, not even 6 hours. So, we're always a cash cow. But let's make our monies work for us, because when you follow the scenario, it's always about money.
And if we don't really know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or where to do it at, let's just get behind the mayor, Mr. Marty Smalls, for now, and follow his footsteps, and let's guide and get these paperwork and put our giant Hancocks on them. Even use the ex-cons, you can't complain now, because the bill has been passed, you can vote. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So it's no excuse now. It's no excuse. We was in prison. We was in the law library. We was doing the stand up. The food was bad. We have a riot. The medication wasn't no good. We have a riot. So and so they disrespect my visit. We have a riot. Oh, we were so courageous in prison. When we get out here in society, we put our tail between our legs. We don't vote no more. We don't stand up for nothing no more. We don't stand up for our women, our children, our grandparents, or nothing. What happened? What happened to that same courage that we used to have when we was in?
Absolutely. And we're putting our trust in the mayor that he will do the right thing to speak up for his constituency here in the city of Atlantic City.
Yes, sir.
He enumerated that, the casinos make a certain amount of dollars. I forget the exact numbers. But he said none of that is peeled back to the city.
That's a crying shame, man.
That's
a crying shame.
That's
a crying shame.
So what are they in here for? When they first came down, there was the benefit of jobs and equality. But how many of us has really experienced that since the casinos hit the city, brother?
Good thought.
You know?
Thought.
Also, you gotta just remind them that on June 5th, this June of this year, when they do the special election, don't get involved with the who Marty is, who he represents, but we got to be behind the mayor 100%, regardless of who he is. And we got to let them know that there's going to be a special wording on the ballot to see if we agree with the state or not, to get rid of city council and get rid of the mayor. And we have to say no to it.
Absolutely.
If you can't read and write, it's no pun intended. Even if you can read and write, but you can't comprehend, then get behind the mayor's people. He's going to have a staff, I assume, that's going to be there to sign the ballots of what's right and what's wrong. Get behind the mayor's staff, Mr. Marty Small, and find out what way we supposed to sign so that way they won't fool you. Because they're going around with Section 8 and all kind of other papers, came to my knowledge, and they say, well, we want Section 8, sign right here, this, and that. And when you sign it, on the flip side, it tells you to vote for this new government to come in and take over the whole city. So be careful and watch how the devil moves. Because the devil deals with trickery and debauchery and etc. So you want to be careful and get with the mayor and get behind the mayor, find out who the mayor's staff is, and get behind those men and women so they can lead you to sign the correct papers so we won't let these people take over our destiny. Listen to me. All that money, like Brother Eric said, Brother Eric Muhammad, that was voted in, that was written for all the casinos, we don't see none of that money. None of those tax dollars, we don't see none of that. Do you imagine if you was on the corner all day and you did your thing and somebody went in your pocket and took all of your money, you wouldn't allow it. But you allow this man or this machine or these group of men and women to take these tax dollars that's supposed to come to us, filter down to us so we have a better quality of life. We don't see none of it, and you sit there and don't say nothing.
The wickedly wise always have an agenda. And that agenda is to suck the blood of the poor. They want to keep us poor because that's how they stay rich. Wise and intelligent people come together, and no matter, like what the brother said, what he thought, what you think about the mayor, let's be wise and pool our intellectual resources and know that he is wise enough to bring us through to the other side. And then when we get to the other side, we can close the door. If we have political differences, political ideologies, with the mayor's stance on different things, that's fine. That's natural. That's going to happen in life. But what's happening in our life right now is that they want to take us back to a place where we just cannot be, as brother said, slavery. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that today.
But what's happening is we have to realize this, is that they coming against us as an enemy. We never had none of these tax dollars of not just billions, but more than billions, which is trillions of dollars, but billions and millions. And we never got none of the benefits of those tax dollars. So we recognize this. The mayor recognized this. He's making a call. So no matter what we feel, how we see it, or no matter how we taste it, we have to get rid of all that and become one united front for one united purpose behind the mayor and push this thing with everything in us. And we've never done nothing in unity in a wholesale way in Atlantic City. This is the time to do it, to get behind the mayor, Mr. Marty Small, and push forward with everything in us. You say you're not afraid to die, but if you're afraid of death, you never live. This is the time to put that up front. My life, my death, and my sacrifice is all for my women and my children, but I got to get behind this mayor to make sure these people don't take this whole city and do what they want, when they want, anytime they want to. And it's about the rich getting richer, but they're just greedy, man. They're just greedy. How many boats can you have? How many cars can you have? If you one man, you got 21 cars. What the hell are you going to do with 21 cars? That's greed, man.
Absolutely. I just want to read this article from the Atlantic City Press. Will give you a brush you of exactly what the pieces are, who the players are. It's written by a David Danzis. That's spelled D-A-N-Z-I-S. David Danzis, staff writer for the Atlantic City Press. Atlantic City. At a time when city leaders are calling for unity against an effort to change the form of government and to fight what they describe as a takeover by outsiders, division between members of city council and the administration are becoming more evident. The infighting between the governing body and Mayor Marty Small Sr. over the issue of implementing a recreation, youth, and senior services department lasted nearly an hour during Wednesday's council meeting at City Hall. The mayor and council went back and forth over the details of an ordinance that would have resulted in a city division with 241 employees, many of them part-time and seasonal. The ordinance was pulled out without an explanation at the council's reorganization meeting on New Year's Day and was voted down by a 6-3 margin Wednesday. Council residents George Tibbet, Vice President Mosi Delgado, LaToya Dunstan, Jeffrey Fauntleroy II, Mohammed Zia, and M.D. Hussein Morshid voted against the ordinance, while Kaleem Shabazz, Aaron Randolph, and Jesse Kurtz, the lone Republican in the city, voted yes. I'm going to read that again.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Brother Kaleem Shabazz?
I'm going to read.
Please read that again, man. I can't believe that.
Said,
Brother Kaleem Shabazz that grew up in Temple 10 in Lansing, New Jersey?
Council President George Tibbet, Vice President Mosi Delgado, LaToya Dunstan, Jeffrey Fauntleroy II, Mohammed Zia, M.D. Hussein Morshid voted against the ordinance, while Kaleem Shabazz, Aaron Randolph, and Jesse Kurtz, the lone Republican in city government, voted yes.
You can't be talking about Brother Kaleem Shabazz. Unbelievable. It must be an imposter somewhere.
Politics makes strange bedfellows.
He's some Caucasian boy that just arrived.
Who was
Jesse
that?
Kurtz. He's some little Caucasian boy that just arrived
Speak
about
up.
3 years ago and got a spot. So he don't have nothing to do. He's the same one that tried to privatize schools in Atlantic City, preferably. That's what he said. He don't know nothing about the city. He definitely shouldn't be up there anymore.
The mayor the mayor and several city council members admitted Thursday morning that the divisiveness of the display during the meeting gave proponents of the change of government a referendum, which will be voted on citywide special election March 31st. More ammunition to use against them. Small and then all 9 members of the council are opposed to the change of government. People don't understand the art of war, Small said. We're supposed to be together fighting against the change of government. You have people on the Atlantic City Democratic Committee worrying about who is running for mayor. It's self-serving and disingenuous.
Yes, we got enough. We got enough ammunition.
Yes, sir.
But it's also, as Mike Tyson said, ludicrous. For them to be that stupid, ludicrous. For them to be that stupid, man, in their own city to sell out like that. And half of the other people that sell don't even live here, so they have no investment here, they have no families here, they have no roots here. It's easy for them to throw the city down the drain. But for those who's down here who've been on their grind, that's from the city of cities in this city, y'all better stand and get behind Mr. Marty Smalls, man, or I have to look at you totally different, man. And then I have to know those who don't, and those who don't vote, those who don't come out to vote, they can vote, I'm going to call you institutional cowards. Institutional cowards. You may bust your gun, but Biggie said, my mind, my 9, my pens, my Mac 10, but you won't bust your 10, your pen, so you don't impress me with a ratchet. Impress me with that pen and do the right vote and let us save our city. Or are you just an institutional coward? You tapped out on the way out.
On the way out. I want to just sum this thing up right here.
Okay.
It says Thursday morning that the business was, excuse me. I already read that. Here we go. City Democratic Councilwoman Gwen Calloway Lewis declined to comment Thursday. Earlier this month, Calloway Lewis declined to say whether city Democrats would support Small in a mayoral election or whether the party was satisfied with their selection of him.
Let's stop that, because all that's doing is bringing out more disunity. That's why I say stop where we stop that. We'll keep unified. We don't care who didn't select the mayor. We don't care who don't like the future mayor. We don't care who dislike him, don't want to be like him. Right now, we're going to get behind him, even myself. And I'll sign in front of all of y'all family, first and foremost, put my Jan Hancock on it, Khalil Salam, because I'm going to be behind him the way that he's fighting. I'm going to uphold him, and my whole crew and my whole staff and my whole family going to be behind him. So I want y'all to hear this, because we're not institutional cowards. We're going to fight till we have to die. This is ours. When you going to stand up, family?
See, and that's how the devil works. He mixes truth with falsehood. So beware. Like we said, we're taking the stand with the mayor. It doesn't matter what we think about the mayor.
That's right.
But this affects us. And this is how we're going to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is Vibe Radio 609 coming to you straight, live, and on time.
On the way out.
The way out.